Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to the Face Card Making Space. Another STAMPtember exclusive collaboration video. This one is the highly anticipated GinaK Designs collaboration. Of note, there are options again with this one because it is a large set. It is a 6x8 stamp set, and there are 3 options for the coordinating wafer dies. I am filming this before fully seeing what they are, but I kind of assume that the options are going to be the stamp set with wafer dies for the images, the stamp set with wafer dies for the sentiments, and then the stamp set with all of the wafer dies. And the options are so that people can pick and choose what they most want, because if you want all the wafer dies, the price is higher because it's a lot of wafer dies. So I will have links to the set and those options directly below. Like with all of these STAMPtember collaborations, for those that are new or just not aware or need a reminder, Simon Says Stamp partners with all of these crafty companies throughout the month of September for STAMPtember. All of these collaborations are one and done. When they sell out, they are not restocked. However, all of the brands, GinaK being no exception, have entire product lines of amazing stamps and dies and so many products. And I will have a link, like I always do, to the GinaK product line in my description box below as well. And yeah, I know they try and stock up big time for the super anticipated, this one being one of the most highly anticipated collaboration sets. So I just recommend grabbing it while you can, but also check out what else is under the GinaK Designs banner, because there's tons of amazing products. And yeah, all my links are affiliate links, as always. That just means that if you click on one of my links, end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps pay the bills and keeps the channel going. I had a fuzzy stuck to my microphone. It was bothering me. And yeah, I made a couple of winter, Christmas, holiday themed cards. I don't have the coordinating dies, so I did not use any coordinating wafer dies, just to also help give an idea of what you can do without the coordinating wafer dies. And I will say, this set, I wish I had more time. I really do love it, and I enjoyed what I made, and if I could do it in 20 more different color combos, which you'll see as I get into it. But that's all I gotta say. Let's get right into making these cards. So the limited edition collaboration set from GinaK Designs is the Stay Cozy set. And to start off with, I took an A2 piece of cardstock and I cut it in half. So it's like 5.5 by 2 1/8, something like that. Anyway, as I was doing this, I was like, these would make really good bookmarks too. So consider it like a 2-for-1 idea. Because really, if I'd had the time, I was like, ooh, to make like bookmarks with this, oh, so fun. But anyway, I took the solid circle image from the set, put it in my MISTI, and I'm going to stamp this with Altenew Morning Frost ink. So just a light, warm gray ink. And these will all the inks I'm using, because they're all Altenew inks, they do soften and smooth out and dry back a bit. So they will all lighten, which you'll see like in the finished photos and things like that. So I stamped the solid circle with Morning Frost. And then the detail image, I'm going to stamp with a slightly darker shade, which is Evening Gray. So I'm going to ink that up. And since I stamped it in the same spot, I can do that on the second panel. And like always, if I'd had more hours in the day, I would have done, a stack of these, because you can just kind of mass produce them, really. And then I needed to create a mask. And one of my, first, this is masking paper. This is Simon Says Stamps masking paper. GinaK also has Masking Magic. And I die cut a circle from that, just using one of my Simon Says Stamp nested circle wafer dies. There was just a circle shape that was the right size. Love when that happens. So I die cut these circles from masking paper, and I masked off the moons that I had stamped. And then once these are in place, I am going to do my ink blending. And I chose 2 different combos of ink. And this is what I was saying in the intro. Like, again, if I'd had more hours in a day, I could have just kept going, you know, because I have a lot of inks. I've got a lot of ideas, and like, literally the sky's the limit, literally, as I'm like blending sky colors, or my interpretation of sky colors, because, you know. So the first blend is the Altenew Sugarplums Fresh Dye ink set, and I started with my lightest shade, and I'm just using a blending brush, and I applied that basically onto the mask and kind of dragged it off of the mask, and that was pale mauve. And then I'm going in with amethyst and blending that around, and then I'm going to work my way up to the darker portions, which I'm keeping towards the top, which normally, you know, I would put the moon towards sort of the top of the panel, but again, there was method to the madness this time. Trust me. I wanted the darker inks more towards the top, and I wanted the moon and the lighter inks more towards the bottom because of what I'm going to stamp over it. So I worked my way towards the top of this little panel, and I used plum and then grape. Is it agate or agate? I don't even know how you pronounce that. And I didn't have time to Google it before I did my voiceover, so someone can correct me in the comments if I pronounced it wrong. So then for the second panel, I am using the Blue Mountains quad from Altenew, and I started with Water Hyacinth, and then I'm going in with Alpine Aster and doing the exact same thing. So the lightest shade directly on that mask, pulled off, and then I go in with the second color, and then I'll go in with my third and fourth shades towards the top. I'm using a piece of Post-it tape just to prevent me from getting fingerprints, because these inks are, you know, water reactive, and anything to prevent, because I tend to do that, you know, whether it's just I get ink on my fingers or just, you know, the oils on my fingers, things like that. So the Post-it tape helps keep that from happening. So blended my way up from, Water Hyacinth, Alpine Aster, Crystal Violet was the third shade. And then the final shade is Indigo Skies. And just such pretty colors. So once I'm done my blending, I nearly removed the masks and then remembered I needed to keep those in place because I wanted to add splatter, of course, because, you know, there's got to be some stars in the background. So my go-to, my Picket Fence Studios Paper Splatter Liquid Watercolor in Liquid White Snowflake, so it'll give it some shimmer. So I put those 2 panels into my splat box, put the Liquid White Snowflake onto a palette, and then splattered this with my fan brush. Once I've got that splattered, I'm going to add a second type of splatter, because go big or go home. And I'm going to use the Spellbinders Opaque White, which just another more recent favorite, because that only came on the market whenever. I can't even remember when I finally was able to get my hands on it because it sold out, you know. But I've been using it a fair bit and I'm quite enjoying it. So took a little bit of that, stuck that on my palette. I'm going to thin this out a bit with water because it is a very thick product. And so you kind of thin it out. And the more water you add, the more transparent it'll get. That's just something to, you know, keep in mind depending on like what kind of look you're going for. So thin that out a little bit and then splatter that onto both of these backgrounds. And then of course, let that splatter dry. Once it's dry, I can remove the masks, which is it's just so satisfying. These masks you can reuse. With masking paper, you can basically reuse them until they can't become too saturated with ink. These weren't quite, so I'd probably get at least 2 uses out of them, possibly 3. It just depends. And trust me, you'll be able to know. You'll know when your masking paper is done for, because once ink starts seeping through it, it's no longer doing its intended job. So I removed the masks, and now I'm putting these back into my MISTI, and I'm going to stamp this trio of trees. And this, I love this stamp. And I don't know what it is. I love silhouette images, whether it's silhouette wafer dyes or stamps. And originally I was going to stamp these in black because, you know, that's just habit. You're just going to stamp in black. But I wanted to stamp one of the deer, and I didn't, because of the way I have this like in such a narrow field, and there's things are going to overlap. I decided to stamp the trees in a very dark gray. So I used the darkest gray in the quad that I stamped the moon in. So this is Lava Rock. And it looks much darker right now. Again, it's going to dry back a bit. And oh, yeah, love it. I need to do this more often. Because for me, it's just habit to stamp, silhouette images in black. But this gray is gorgeous. And I love when the random ideas in my head start coming together. So I did that with both panels. Stamped it in that Lava Rock, which is dark, warm gray color. And then I took one of the deer silhouette images from the set. And again, there's several to choose from. And line that up. And that I'm going to stamp with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. So I'm going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp it twice. And the shimmer shows through. I'm not surprised. The shimmer splatter, like I did the splattering first because I was kind of hoping it wouldn't, but I also knew with the shimmer especially, it's just the nature of the product. It's almost like it almost resists ink in a sense. And I'm okay with it though, because the way these ended up turning out, I'm content. So I stamped it with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and I inked it up and stamped it twice just to get a good solid image of this. And then after I was done stamping that, I am going to heat emboss my sentiments. And I took the Warm Winter Wishes sentiment from this set. And I have a piece of black cardstock. And I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool on the cardstock. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment with clear embossing ink. And then I'll shift the cardstock up so I can stamp it a second time. And then I'm going to coat this with Simon's silver embossing powder. So coat it with that. Tap off the excess, remove the couple little random grains that were being persistent even with the anti-static powder. And then I'm going to melt that with my heat tool till everything is smooth and shiny and melted. And then I'm going to use my microfiber cloth to remove that excess anti-static powder because it just does not look very nice on top of the black cardstock. So remove that. And then to die cut this, I'm using my sentiment label wafer dies. And I have 2 sets of these. I've talked about this in other videos. I use these so much that it was worth it for me to purchase a second set so that I can do literally things like this. So I can just line them up, tape them into place with washi tape so they don't shift when I run them through my die cut machine, and then die cut them in one go. So then after I die cut these, I used my paper trimmer to trim off just part of the right hand side of these. And then I used my scissors to cut just a line down the center, and then you meet each corner with that line and it creates a flag end. The sentiment label wafer die set actually does come with a couple little kind of not quite triangle shaped wafer dies that do this, but honestly, I'm old school and I would rather use my scissors. So I did all of that, set that aside. My card bases are side folding A2 note cards, which for me is not the norm. I do top folding, just personal preference. It's just been what I've been doing for so many years that I rarely do side fold cards. However, this time I went with side fold because I had a purpose. Again, method to the madness. So I put my card bases back into my MISTI and I'm stamping that trio of trees with the second lightest shade of ink from each blending quad. So I stamped the one with Alpine Aster, and then in this one I'm stamping it with the Amethyst ink onto the inside of my card. And then I'm going to line up another one of the sentiments from this stamp set and making sure I got it straight. Hence my head getting in the way because got to make sure the sentiment's straight. Let's get that lined up, and then I'm going to stamp that with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Do that on the inside of both my cards. And the reason I went with a side fold card is because I wanted to wrap this cord around the card because of the way I had everything lined out. It was just easier to do a side fold card. So this is some Vivant silver cord, and I couldn't resist buying this stuff. It is beautiful. It is luxury. It is beautiful. And I will say, I've talked about like metallic threads and metallic cords in previous videos. They're kind of a bear to work with because, metallic threads, metallic cords, like they're slippery. I will say this Vivant is not quite like that. Like I wasn't wanting to burn the world down while I was tying this bow, for lack of a better phrase, because sometimes, oh, metallic cords are the worst. This was not that bad. And you get a ton on a roll. You get like 100+ yards. I have a lifetime supply of this stuff, and it's beautiful. Anyway, used my reverse tweezers, tied it in a bow after I'd wrapped it around the card front. The other thing to note with any metallic thread, metallic card, especially if you tie it in a bow, you don't want it to move, you need to add a little bit of glue. Just because, again, it's slippery, it's a little finicky. So all I did was I added just a little bead of craft tacky glue right at the knot of the bow and actually just slightly under it. Let that dry, it's fine. And it's good to go. I'm not concerned about it. So that's just something to keep in mind. And it just adds that little extra something. So I did that, and then I adhered my sentiment strip to the card front, and that's it. I decided not to add any other embellishments. These end up being very flat, very mailable, and it would be very mass producible, and you could do this and make bookmarks. So there's some random ideas out there because I don't have the time to do them all. So I appreciate, as always, you all hanging out with me and thumbs upping and commenting. It legit helps a ton. It just tells the robot overlords you like what you see. Like I mentioned in the intro, I will have links to all of the things in the description box below the video. If you expand the description box, everything will be there, listed and linked for your convenience, so you can check it out if you're interested. Thank you all so very much for stopping by today, and stay tuned. I'll be seeing you all very soon in another video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in supporting me over on Patreon, the link to that is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye.